Morning everybody, how are you? What a cracking day, eh? So, yesterday we spoke about from pain to power. And everybody feels fear when approaching something totally new in life. Yet so many of us out there are doing it, despite that fear. So we must conclude that fear is not actually the problem itself. I never realised that, and that was something quite weird for me. So how do we get from there though? How do we actually move, morning Louise, how do we actually move from pain to power? Make that transition, how do we do that? So the first step is really to create a pain to power chart. So whatever size of chart you want, whether it's a wee tiny or it's a big huge chart. Basically one says pain at one end, one says power at the other end, and there's various stages in between like wee dots, and you decide for yourself where you are on that chart. That's your first step. Morning Sarah, morning David. So most of us can place ourselves somewhere in the middle. Really, that's what it is. And we're not totally incapacitated by our fears, but we're not exactly feeling a great sense of power and excitement. Nor were we quickly sprinting towards our goals. We seem to be taking the odious route over the mountain by carrying 2 suitcases and a watermelon, rather than actually flying over on the wings of eagles. Morning Alana. So the ancient sage once said, the pathway is smooth, so why do you throw rocks in front of yourself? That is definitely, I relate to that completely. The fact that, the pathway is smooth, but we put obstacles in front of our way all the time. So using that pain to power chart as a frame of reference can be the beginning of clearing those rocks. Good morning, Andrea. The following steps will help you with the clearing process. So draw that enlarged pain to power chart. It is literally just a 4 foot, 6 foot, straight long line, a wee chart or something like that. Put some A4 paper together and sellotape them together and put pain at one end, power at the other end. And that'll let you see your progress as you go. And just that simple act of making that enlarged chart will make you feel more powerful in itself. Morning Francis. Remember that much of the trick of moving from pain to power is actually taking action. Morning Joanna. Action is very, very powerful. It solves everything, to be honest. Once the chart is on your wall, it will serve a consistent reminder of where you are from a day to day as you go through your life. Awareness is really half the battle here. And I'll say that again, awareness is half the battle. Having the chart physically present will also help you motivate yourself and keep you moving in the right direction. And draw arrows as well. So draw wee arrows along that line from pain to power, so you know what way you should be going. Some of us are going the other way. Sometimes me. So I get it completely. I'm there with you. It's just to keep you from taking yourself too seriously. You might want to write something on the chart. Something like angels fly because they take themselves lightly. I heard this quote a long time ago, and it still makes me smile. It constantly reminds me that you can drop an awful lot of excess baggage if you learn to play with life instead of actually fighting it. And that's how I talk about the journey. Sometimes it's the journey that's more exciting than the actual destination. So put a pin at the place on the chart that you see yourself situated at the moment in life. Are you in the middle? Or where you sometimes feel depressed and paralysed? Or at times are you feeling more in control? Are you at the pain part? Are you at the power part? It's up to yourself where you feel on a day-to-day basis. Or do you definitely find yourself at the far left side, whereas little of you are able to pull yourself out of that rut? Or perhaps you're already on the right-hand side, where most of the time you feel that you're really moving ahead with your life, with the only few areas that you need to be worked on. I doubt that anybody listening to this has reached their goal in attaining an absolute power over themselves. Even the Buddhas have their days when you think about it. There are always new experiences that challenge the sense of personal power. Morning, Deborah. So each day, Look at the side of the chart and ask yourself, do I see myself in the same place, or have I actually moved? Move the pin accordingly. If you keep in mind the direction you want to go, it will help you make these decisions about where you are and what you're doing in life. Before you take any action in life, remember this, ask yourself, is this the action that will move me towards a more powerful place? Think about that. I'll say that again. Before you take any action in life, ask yourself, is this action moving me to a more powerful place? If it isn't, you have to think twice about doing it really. A word of caution, if you go ahead anyway, knowing that the action will keep you in a position of pain, don't get angry with yourself about it. Just notice where you are and take full responsibility for what you've just done. The next time, you could make a different decision. Life is either a lesson or a blessing. Use your mistakes as a learning experience. Remember that each time you get angry with yourself for you to take that action, and keep yourself, and you've taken that action really to keep yourself on the side of pain. So don't do it. Be mindful of it. There's that word mindful again that everybody uses. It's a very important word. So make sure you use your chart and have fun with it. It's a game really, and keep it light in the situation. If you have children, they can create their own charts. You can make the family game out of the experience of growing through the whole process. You might want to make a different chart for different areas of your life. To be totally powerful, you need to be in charge of all aspects of your life, your work, your relationships, your environment and body, and so on. Often people are very powerful in parts of their lives and pathetic in others. Boy, am I brilliant at my work. But I tell you what, when it comes to my social life, wow, I need to work on it. For example, I'm powerful in terms of my career, and then obviously there's other areas I need to work on. Some of us need to work on our exercise. Some of us need to work on our healthy eating. Remember, don't use that other word, because the two synonyms mean you actually die it. It's a negative connotation. So healthy eating is the plan. Note that your movement on the chart is determined only by your intuitive sense and how far you're progressing and gaining more power in your life. No one else can judge you throughout that, although they may try. Remember that. Remember the crabs in the bucket that I spoke about in Millionaire Mindset. Although your life may look exactly the same in the outside world, it is your own sense of internal peace and growth that determines where you are on the chart. It is totally a feeling within yourself. You may wonder if you really need to go to such lengths to get yourself moving. Trust me, you do. That's probably why you're listening to this. And it's probably why I'm saying it. I've still got to work on me every single day. I'll never be the completed part or the completed result. Remember, success is a journey. It is never a destination. So, in the beginning, you need all the gimmicks you can to remind you of where you want to go. You don't become powerful without concentrating on the power itself. This goes back to the laws of attraction. As you must have figured out by now, simply knowing what to do does not mean that you'll do it, or for that matter, even remember it. So, tomorrow, we're going to talk about the pain to power path and its importance that you begin to develop the pain to power vocabulary. And I'll see you at 7:30.